Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy TUSK out to the day, Mr. Flow So Good, Matsiba Totally, Mr. Keep Up My What. You guys already know, man. Basically, I've just started a new channel. You guys can already see. Some of y'all don't know me. I'm starting a new channel, and basically, this is going to be a channel that is based on other things that don't necessarily pertain to hip hop. Basically, the first thing we're going to talk about today is what the BDS just did to Shashi Naaidoo, where they basically cornered this girl, abused her. I don't even know what the right word is. Fascist did what to her, and basically just pushed her to a corner whereby she actually had to one way or another try and appease them in order for her to be able to gain her peace. So what had basically happened, for those of you guys that don't know, can't take you through the full story. It's very long. We'll have a longest video if we do that. So basically, what happened, she took a picture of black coffee, and I did a video about black coffee, performing in Israel. And you guys, for those that don't know, South Africa all of a sudden has woken up and has this all anti, Israel campaign that's going on, and basically, Shashi Naaidoo, took a picture with black coffee while she was in Ibiza with him, posted the picture, and some idiot decided to get up and basically bother her about the picture. And she basically clapped back at that fool, as she should, as is her right. Basically clapped back at that person for, basically coming out and basically told them, her opinions about what's going on in Israel, about the fact that, not everything, is as rosy as all these pro-Palestine people think. Not everything is as straightforward as everybody thinks. And she basically gave them the facts. She gave them the facts as far as Israel pulled out of the Gaza Strip, first of all, and Gaza shouldn't be a place whereby we blame Israel for things that are going on there. She gave them the facts about the West Bank. She gave them the facts, about a lot of topics. And basically a lot of people, the social justice warriors of the world, decided to call her out and, basically say she's so wrong in what she believes, what she's saying is so wrong, blah, blah, blah. And, basically demonized her for actually coming out to say that she is actually in the situation. She didn't necessarily say she was pro-Israel, but she was just saying that there's two sides to every story. Now, she might have said some ancillary terms, somewhere in between that, basically calling, and this is so interesting. The media chose to just stick to that. They didn't put a full statements up. They just basically said, she said, Gaza is a shithole country, or a shithole city, and it's a shithole at this point. And, she said a couple of things that were, that were unsavory, and that's the only thing that the biased, I call them the biased media, chose to pick out of the whole situation. And basically saying that she was wrong to do that. Now she came out and apologized, but unfortunately for her, people started putting their deals. She was pulled off of, I think, a Vodacom ad. She lost I think a jewelry deal. She started losing endorsements, and all sorts of things, till we fast forward to today, where she actually came out and actually made a statement alongside the boycott, diverse, and sanctions movement, BDS movement, and basically gave a statement saying that she apologizes. They came out and said they forgive her, quote unquote. They forgive her, and them forgiving her means now she has to travel to she's going to travel to Palestine and Israel on their terms. And traveling to Palestine and Israel in their terms, she's going to get to experience the whole thing, so that she can give a more informed decision, because what she believes in is uninformed. And like, as you guys can tell, this is a load of crap. Okay, I don't even want to waste time playing around it. There's a lot of crap with the South African government and the BDS movement and all these other things, all these other bodies, the South African Council of Churches, which is shocking to me that they're Christians supporting this kind of nonsense. Like, all these people are just, the most shocking people to me, where, they are supporting something that is so undemocratic at this point that it's appalling to me. It's just appalling to see that, that in an era where, people should be pushing democratic ideals, people have now started to come out to push fascist ideals. And I always say this, and I'm going to say it again, I don't care what BDS feels, because facts don't care about your feelings. BDS is the new modern day Hitler, okay? They are the Hitler movement, they are Hitler's children. And I say that not because they want to, boycott, divest, and sanctions. I say that simply because their whole logic is against one group of people, okay? Their whole logic is not, they say they're pro-human rights. No, they're not. If they were pro-human rights, they would speak up for a lot of people. They wouldn't just speak up for, let's just boycott Israel, the one democratic states in the Middle East. Let's just boycott them, and the situation in Israel that is not so straightforward. Let's just blame Israel for everything. If you are talking about what's happening in the Middle East and what's happening in that area, what Miss Naaidoo said was very correct when she came out and said it's not as straightforward as people are saying, number one. Number two, there's two sides to the whole story. Now, this is what the guys came out and said. One of the first speakers came out and spoke and said, it's funny how it's anti-Semitic when we speak it. Yeah, my nigga, you guys are anti-Semitic. Why do we say you're anti-Semitic? It's not because you want to boycott that, and sanction Israel. That's not why we say we're anti-Semitic. We say you're anti-Semitic because you're picking one group of people. Number two, you are acting like to solve the conflict in the Middle East or the conflict between Palestinians and Israel. Israel is the only people that needs to, take a step to actually solving the issue. And basically, it's unfortunate that that kind of thinking is actually thriving in this era, where it's very funny that you notice that in South Africa, for peace to actually come, it actually had to come, from not only, the ANC saying they desire peace, or the black people of South Africa saying they desire peace, but it also had to come from the white people also saying they desire peace. So long as there was one group of people that don't desire peace, the peace never came. So in this particular situation, this is one of the reasons I say that they are anti-Semitic. And if you look at every area where the BDS exists, these cases that are happening in South Africa right now are there. People are not allowed to give their opinions. People are not allowed to be free and say what they want. They come out and call it, we are holding people accountable. You are not holding people accountable by wanting to take their incomes away from them because of their opinions. You are not holding people accountable by saying they must lose money because they disagree with your movement or they disagree with what you believe in. That's not holding people accountable, man. That's holding people ransom, basically saying that agree with me or else. So it's one of those situations I look at and I'm like, no, BDS is not holding people accountable. You're not holding people accountable by threatening them, by having them threaten that we're going to kill you, or something bad is going to happen. And these are your members, because as much as BDS will run around and say, no, these are not our members, we didn't call for that, I can openly tell them that this is happening because of their teachings. And it's not very different from what Hitler was doing, because Hitler had his reasons for hating Jewish people. I'm sure he thought they were so amazing, and he went around demonizing Jewish people, to his people. He demonized them through education, he demonized them through movies and so on and so forth, and that's exactly what BDS is doing. They demonize Israel via the internet, they demonize Israel, via these, they go around schools giving lectures about how evil, the state of Israel is. And it's funny that, and that's why I always tell people that there's a pattern when it comes down to Jewish people that you must always notice. The people that were killed during the Holocaust are the same people today that are being demonized as far as the state. Now they're a state, so now the attack is on the state, but it's still the same group of people. You need to start understanding the fact that there's something there, and as a Christian, I gotta caution you that you shouldn't support such. But yeah, so basically they forced this girl to agree with them. They forced her to go to Palestine, apparently on an educational trip. But I don't know how educational it's going to be, because the only people she's going with are pro-Palestine people. She's going with the South African Council of Churches, which is pro-Palestine. She's going with some other Jewish guys that are also pro-Palestine, and she's going with the BDS movement, which is clearly pro-Palestine. I wonder why they didn't try getting, maybe the Israeli ambassador to South Africa to also go there with her, so that she gets a different perspective. They were saying she can't go alone, because they need to monitor her. No, they don't need to monitor her. What guys want to do is propaganda her head and force her to actually agree with whatever you guys are saying. And on top of that, it's really a case where I'm saying I really don't understand why in this era we are running and accepting people that are so against democratic ideals. Like BDS is fascist, against anything that is democratic, against people's freedoms, against the freedom of people to, of thought, freedom of opinion. If somebody has a different opinion from them, they are the devil. These are the things that I'm looking at and I'm saying, man, I wonder where we go. We're going towards a fascist state, and we're going so quick. Because I'll give you a simple example. Today even, Palestine launched 45 rockets into Israel, from Gaza. I didn't hear BDS coming out to condemn that. I didn't hear South Africa coming out to condemn that. And that's what I'm saying, the fact that we're in an era where, if somebody is in a position of disadvantage, whatever they do doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you fired a shot at a school to try and kill people. It doesn't matter that you fired at a preschool, or you fired. It doesn't, because you look like the victim in the situation. You can do whatever you want. But if Israel retaliates, everybody's going to condemn them. And that's why I'm saying that we need to stop this bias, and somebody needs to start stopping BDS, man, because where we're going is they're going to lobby the whole world into a war against Israel, and we're going to realize post the war that we created another Holocaust supporting a bunch of idiots. I'm sorry to tell you guys. You guys leave me your comments, man. What do you guys think of what the BDS did to Shashi Naaidoo? Leave me your comments. Let me know, do you guys think it's anti-Semitic? Do you guys think I'm wrong? You guys are free to disagree with me. I feel like they're Hitler babies. I promise you. These are Hitler babies. Leave me a comment. I mean, even how, anyway, leave me your comments and definitely subscribe. Awesome.